welcome to Win, Lose, and Cry, Maple Leafs podcast. You may notice that there's only two of us today. Chase is off helping Joseph Wool practice his pad work, so he'll be back with us next week.
He's having some technical difficulties tonight.
He lost his job, man.
Oh.
But we are going to talk about the games this week, starting with Tampa Bay. If you don't mind, James, I'll give her a start off. And
go for it. It's all yours.
All right. So, I'm dropped something. There we go. So, Tampa. Good game, I guess. Kasha, I thought Kasha specifically in this game played really good.
Yeah, he did. And he had that nice kind of, I don't want to say greasy goal. The third goal, right? But he was right place, right time, and he was quick with the stick.
Yeah, he had the good goal. He had a good early goal, the first one, and they also had the third, like you said. Like good game all around by him. Power play is looking very good, and it's been even like this whole week. It's looked good. Even before that, it's looked good. I don't know if we talked about this earlier. I don't know if you want to start this conversation now or after the games. But the Marner not being in these games, but the power play still and the power play looking even more lethal than before. How are you feeling about that?
So, it's the flip to what we were talking about a couple weeks back now, right? 'Cause a couple weeks ago we said team was doing really good defensively. They were shutting down the zone, barely letting any goals on, but the power play wasn't clicking and the power play wasn't working. And we said the Leafs need to figure out the power play. They've got the defense locked down. They got to figure out the power play. Well, we've reversed roles now, it seems like.
Yes.
They're letting by many, many goals, but the power play is working, right? Like it's going over the last 6 games. The power play is at 55%. Like it is. Yeah, 55. Over the last 6 games, they've had 20 power plays. They've scored on 11 of the 20.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of that 11 were in like the first 20 or 30 seconds of it.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing they're scoring quick on these power plays.
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you. I'm like, yeah, they.
Yeah. I forget which game it was this week, but it was like the first couple seconds of the power play.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. It was like within 10 seconds of getting the power play, they had a goal.
Yeah,
like it's working. It's working well.
The power play is, but that goes back to what you're saying. Up until this week, you've been hammering to me and Chase that they've been a defensive team, and like we saw. I mean, I wouldn't say they had defensive breakdowns in this game. They did lose 5-3 to the Lightning. Lightning is one of the best teams in the league. They're 2-time Stanley Cup champion. They're going for a 3-peat this year.
In a row.
Yeah,
2 times in a row.
Exactly. And I know I ragged on people on Twitter and people saying, "Oh, the Leafs just keep getting goal lead." I'm like, "No, how long are we going to say that before we say the team's bad?" I feel like they got goal lead.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, now Lightning did outshoot the Leafs.
Yes.
Right? Like by a pretty good margin.
So if you're looking at,
but yeah, I mean they could beat. Go ahead.
Oh, so you froze for a second there.
Oh yeah, I was saying like that game, like they played well, but they could not beat Vasilevsky at all.
I think it was in the first or second. Completely like it was the puck was behind him on the goal line. He ended up like flipping over and grabbing it, like stole. That was a goal.
Absolutely, he did. Yeah. It was painful to watch, but also kind of cool to see.
It was a good game. I'm not mad that they lost. They played well. That the second they were very dominant. Despite the shot clock, they looked very dominant.
They did. They held their own.
Yeah. Now the only thing, and this is going to be continuous through the other games, Muzzin and Hall. They got split I know. They got split up in the third period. Hall, you and I talked about this over Messenger or something like that during the game. This was the game where Hall had that really lazy half lie down, looked like he was doing kind of a plank on the ice.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it just so yeah, I don't know. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was that the game where they put Liljegren up with Muzzin?
Yes.
Was
They
that in the
yeah
third
when
period?
they
They split
split
them
it
up.
up. Yeah,
I liked that
that
pairing.
is a good pairing.
I want to see more of Liljegren up the lineup, and I mean once we get Sandine back, they'll have to change things. But I liked seeing Muzzin and Liljegren together. They look good.
Sandine comes in. I think Hall's the guy to go out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At this point, I do too.
yeah.
What's funny is last week we went too long, but I wanted to talk about Hall, right? Like I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up Hall and say, like, thank goodness we have him. I'm glad we have him. It's nice having a seventh D man because I think last week, right, we had Dermott down and we had Sandine go down. So we were down two defensemen. We had Hall. Like, we were okay. This week, I feel a little different about that.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
I've felt like that for the last week or two. He's been bad.
it's
And I think
I don't know what I know. A lot of people are saying it's his confidence.
which is
And watching last night's game, that's what it looks like.
it's weird.
Now
To
there was a
say
couple
that, though, 'cause,
times
like he was a standout in the playoffs last year. Everyone loved him.
he yeah, but I don't know. He was sick at the beginning of the year this year, right?
True.
And then so he's not playing strong, and then the coach healthy scratches him for 5 games and brings up this rookie with pretty much no NHL experience to take his place. Like that's gonna hit you a little bit
Yeah.
for confidence, right? And last night there was a couple times where he had the puck or he won the race to the puck in their own end, and then just froze.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even say lazy. It was like because he hustled, he won the battle to the puck, but then just didn't know. Do I throw it around the right side of the boards? Do I throw it on the left side of the boards? Do I try and spin and find a passing lane? Like he just got the puck and stopped.
Yeah.
And so like I can see it being a confidence thing because I mean yeah like what else would that be? He's a decent player. I mean he's nothing special, but he played a very good year last year. So like he can play the position, but
So if it's
I don't know.
if it's confidence, what more do you do for him? You're putting him on top line minutes like the Riley Brody and Muzzin Hall. They're typically around the same play time.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
So you're essentially getting top line minutes as a defenseman on the Maple Leafs. You got showered with praise last year in the playoffs, and like you said, coming up the gate this year, he's been a different player.
He absolutely has been. Like what when Sandine's back, maybe you put Hall in the third line and you keep him there. You keep Sandine.
But then who comes
what's his name? The young kid that they have up right now.
Oh,
Why can't I think of his name? Oh, it's gonna bug me that I can't think of his name. Starts with an R, I think. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head. Rubens.
Yeah. Okay, so
Rubens comes out. You keep Hull and I don't know, maybe Sandine together. You move Liljegren up with Muzzin, or put Sandine with Muzzin. I don't know. They got to move some things around, or they look for a trade and try and move them. But trying to get a defenseman for $2 million is going to be tough, especially to play in your top 4.
I don't think this defensive core is going to do it though. Like
no, they won't. They need to do something.
No. Yeah. But then like this trade deadline this year is going to be fun.
Well, I mean, I was happy with last year's trade deadline.
Yeah, it's
getting Nick Foligno.
Yeah,
I was
pumped
about that.
It sucks how it turned out, but that's another thing I actually want to. Well, I want to talk about. We'll talk about the games first, but I was a very big proponent of fire Dubas if the year turns out how it is. But like he's given them everything he can. It's just stuff doesn't turn out correctly. It's more in the players. Unfortunately, it is going to be him that's on the chopping block just because it always go GM first or coach, GM, then players. And we've already done coach. So it's going to be his head. Even though
the whole thing though is like, yeah, it's the players now, and he's given them everything, but if he brought the wrong players in, like if there's an issue in the dressing room and he didn't correct it, then it's still on him.
Yeah.
As a general manager, everything's on his shoulders, right? Every decision, every player that plays for that team is on him, right? So it's his responsibility.
If you look on paper, though, if we were playing NHL 22 franchise mode, he did phenomenal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Other than the contract payments for 3 people, other than that, like finding Kasha and
but you know what though, even like those 3 contracts, they are very big, but look at how important those 3 players are to the success of this team, right?
Yeah.
Matthews wasn't playing well at the beginning of the year. The Leafs didn't win it all. Marner wasn't playing good at the beginning of the year. The Leafs didn't win it all. Last year in the playoffs, no Tavares. We didn't win it all. Or we did win, but we lost the series. And now over the past 6 games that we've been missing Marner, the team's 3-3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like
so,
my opinion on those contracts is Matthews is not long enough for that amount of money. Tavares is too long because of his age and that amount of money, and Marner's an overpayment. Like Matthews,
I agree.
Yeah, Matthews is getting what he's made, but getting what he should. He probably might even be getting more. But 5 years, I don't like the whole 5-year thing.
Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't like 7.
Yeah, because 5 years, we only have 2 more years of Matthews.
Yep. So, well, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. When we get closer to it.
I'm just what I have wrong with those contracts isn't only the payment; it's how payment.
It's the length of them as well.
It's a combination of both, right? I would love all.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I would love all 3 of those players for 8 years, but you have to finagle the money in that case. But you know what?
Absolutely.
That's not a topic we should be getting into right now.
No.
I don't have anything else about Lightning game. Do you?
Not really. I mean, they scored both goals on the power, or they were 2 for 2 on the power play, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 for 3 on the penalty kill isn't bad against Tampa Bay.
No.
I mean, one for 3 is pretty good against Tampa. I mean, so yeah, like I said, I have nothing else really to say about that game. I thought they played a good game, but I think Tampa just played a bit better.
Yeah, they played a bit better.
And that's what I think it comes down to is both teams played well, one played a bit better, and Tampa won.
Yeah,
right?
They both played well. I've got nothing bad to say other than I wish it was a win.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? And what's scary though is we're probably facing Tampa in the first round of the playoffs, right? So I think whichever team wins that is probably going far in the playoffs.
And that's
right, because
that's the problem right now with when I say I don't think this defense core is good enough. We have a decent defense core, but if we're playing either the Panthers or Tampa in the first round, not good enough to beat them.
You know what? If you're seriously if Dubas, I should say, is seriously considering making a legitimate Stanley Cup push this year to win it, you would almost have to move Hall and
I'd move Hall and Mrazek because think about it this way: how often do you play your backup in the playoffs? You mostly,
not very often.
You mostly ride your starter, and
what happens if your starter goes down? Right? Look at it happened in Pittsburgh when they won their second Stanley Cup. Right? Fleury went down, Murray stepped up and got the win.
But
and he went down in the third round.
But for that $3.8 million, you can get a good defense. Like that $3.8 million for Mrazek kills me.
Yeah, I know. I get that it kills you, but you know what? But if you trade away Mrazek and you don't sign Campbell, or you do sign him at a really big contract, you have no backup for next year. Wool, I don't think is ready yet.
Next year he might. He played decent. He's been playing decent this year. Give him another year in the minors, like that just makes it better.
No, I see. If they make a trade at the deadline, and they want to bring in someone with retained salary cap, you'd be probably looking at moving Hall, and Sandin or Liljegren.
Ooh.
Right? Because you're
give away defensemen when we have a weak defense core. Hall, yes, but Sandy.
What forward are you gonna What forward are you gonna give away? Because you're not talking about just getting a defenseman. You need a good defenseman.
Yeah.
Right? Like you need a good defenseman with ideally 1 year left on his contract and salary retained. Right? So if you're going for a legitimate Stanley Cup push, that's what you're looking for.
What about Mikheyev? Because we haven't really needed him this year.
No, we haven't. But how much value?
Well, he's got a bit of value. Like, you let him play in the lineup right now, right? We don't really need him. He already requested a trade in the off season, so you can like ship him off somewhere as like a playoff rental for somebody, and then that gives us a bit of cap room, or it gets us some, like if a playoff team grabs him, not so much, but for like a comeback, but that gives us cap room at the same time to make a second move during the trade deadline. I don't know. I'd have to actually do a bit more research.
See, I would like in a perfect world, that's what I would like. Move Mikheyev, move Hall, and free up some space for a $3.5 million defenseman.
Because we do have guys in the minors that come up to play bottom six winger. Right. But we've
been playing without Mikheyev this whole time.
Exactly. That's why it's not a huge lot. Like we had the best November the Leafs have ever had without him, and he's not really much of a goal scorer anyway. He kind of had the same. He's kind of like, remember Kapanen was his big thing was that he was the fastest dude on the ice, but then when he got into the zone, he's like, I don't know what to do.
That's kind of what Mikheyev
he can't shoot,
and like. No, and he wants to be you saw it in that All or Nothing documentary, right? He wants to be a goal scorer, but they've got him playing a defensive role on the team.
So you send him somewhere who needs a goal scorer. If he can shoot the puck on the net without missing.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to do at the deadline. They'll do something there. Let's jump into this Blackhawks game, though. Speaking of Mrazek, I thought he played well.
Yes.
I thought four goals against, right? 4 goals. I thought that wasn't fair. Like the final score was not fair to how well he played. No, in my opinion,
the Leafs left him out to dry.
I wouldn't even say that.
I was scared.
And two of the 4 goals that went in were completely screened.
Yeah.
He had no visibility at the puck. None whatsoever.
That being said, another 4-1 lead evaporated in the third period.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not giving the team the benefit of the doubt, like, it was screened. No,
I'm giving Mrazek. The benefit of the doubt. Not the team.
That's why I said the team left him out to dry a bit. He played other than the first goal. It's just like, dude, first shot. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Other than that, though, I thought I've been you know me. I've been saying, we don't really need him. We don't really need him. He's not that good. But even last week, and I'm like, you know what?
The saves that he made in that game.
Yeah, the saves he had to make that game.
He won that game for us.
Oh yeah.
I know David Camp, one of our top goal scorers there, just burying pucks left, right, and center. But yeah, he won that game for us there was 2 big saves that he made in that game. Real big. And so, yeah, the 5-4 final doesn't really speak to how well he played, I don't think.
The Leafs won. They did not deserve to win that game. Especially, they lucked out of overtime. The luckiest thing I've never... That's a lie. I've seen luckier, but come on. You evaporate a 4-1 lead in the third period, and then the Jedi mind bounce.
The biggest fluke bounce happens.
Yeah, that's just so unfortunate for the Blackhawks.
And it gives Camp just a wide open net to bury it.
So you know what? Yeah. That's a win. But dude, like I almost wanted them to lose that. So it's kind of like.
Well, did you see Deuce's face during that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I'll put it up. I'm gonna put it up when I put up the podcast. But he's not happy.
It was bad. Would you be?
No. He keeps seeing it, and the team thinks it's okay. We won. It's like I can't remember how the quote goes, but it's from the All or Nothing doc, and it's Keith trying to be like, it's not that we won, it's how you win, and that's not how you win.
No, not whatsoever. Chase was actually here. The two of us watched the game together, and we both saw when it shot up to Dubas there, and we both just started laughing when we saw it because it was, and that was after Camp's goal.
Yeah, that was the goal. Like, it panned out to him.
It wasn't like it was the fourth goal by the Blackhawks that tied the game. He did that face. No. That was after the game-winning goal. He did that
because he knows exactly what he's like. They're gonna think it's a win, and they're not gonna think anything of it. It's
yeah. So, but with that being said, they killed all 3 penalty kills.
They did.
They were 2 for 3 on the power play. Yep. Again, power play, right? Two power play goals. So, I mean, yes, they blew the lead in the third period, but they had 4 strong goals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I thought they played well that game.
Yeah, it's
until they collapsed in the final period.
The offense has been buzzing, like been great. The power play's been great. 5-on-5 has been pretty good. Penalty kill has been iffy. Not iffy, but like it's been better.
No,
it's
not.
The last 2 games have been pretty good.
65% in the last 6 games. Yeah. Without Marner, they're at 65% success.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about that, but
not good.
But like the last 2 games that they did pretty good on the penalty kill. That brings it up quite a bit. But
and that's right. That brings it up quite a bit. Take those 2 games, it's terrible.
3 for 3 and 2 for 2 on the penalty kill.
Yeah, so you take those 2. So you had 13. They were able to win 13 of the last 20. Mm-hmm. Take those 5 out.
Yeah.
Right. That's big.
Yeah.
No. I thought I don't know. I thought they had a good game.
It's their defense struggling again.
Yeah, but even then, I wouldn't say the team necessarily collapsed.
I didn't say collapsed.
They just
they
didn't. I kind of did. They kind of collapsed the lead there. They didn't fall apart. They just were lazy in their own end.
Lazy and bonehead decisions.
Right? Like
they took the foot off the gas. Which we keep saying, and that's been a thing that they've been doing. Other than this year, they've been good this year. But this felt like a 2019 Leafs game.
Oh, absolutely, it did.
4-1 lead, got lazy in the third, whatever, got bailed out by a goalie and a fluky winning goal.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it was. Mrazek played well. It was 2 blinded point shots that he couldn't do anything about, and so. But yeah, that's all I have about the Blackhawks game. I mean,
it
was a good game to watch. I thought the Leafs played well offensively.
Offensively, yes.
Yeah. All right, we have last night's game.
Last
night's was a fun game to watch.
Last night's was a very good game.
Last night's was fun. It was a little stressful, but it was a good game.
5-1 win over the Oilers. You always want to see that. Always going to see that. The thing that you're talking about the stressful part was Muzzin with one of the worst giveaways I've seen in a while. Right in front of the net.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know who it went to. I forget who it exactly went to, but they shot it right to Draisaitl, who had a wide open net, and the luck from the Chicago game must have bled over because Draisaitl missed an open net. Muzzin has to buy that. Muzzin has to go buy him dinner because holy,
it was. I couldn't believe it. And at the time, the score was zeros, right?
Yeah, it was zeros.
There was no score yet. So I couldn't believe that didn't go in. That was stressful.
I cannot believe that didn't go in. Muzzin is so lucky. He would have been like reamed out all over the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to remember it now, but still.
Take away that giveaway that he. I thought he actually played a decent game. Outside of that, I thought he actually played well. I mean, he stepped up in a couple of the plays offensively. He did a good job of getting the puck out of their own end. I don't know, and he was strong in front of the net. I thought he played a good game outside of that giveaway.
I think he did. I think the team didn't, despite the 5-1 win. The amount of giveaways
It was terrible. It was
insane. It was
terrible. That game should have been 5-5.
Yeah, it's just soup was good.
Yeah. Very very
the amount
good.
Of soup chants I heard in that game were crazy.
All throughout.
Yeah, because he bailed them out big time. Like you look at the shots. Like what was it?
Well, what did he had 35 saves, I think.
Yeah, 35 out of 36 shots.
Yeah, like those were not. Some of those were not easy shots.
And then the Leafs had 25 shots in total, or 24 shots in total. Way down. I thought this from this offensive team, and they're playing the Oilers, who do not have good goaltending. Shoot the puck.
That's why there's 5 goals.
Yeah, but
there's a reason there's 5 goals against
24 shots. Can you imagine if the Leafs actually shot the puck more? But
look at the shots that they had. Mm-hmm. None of them, or very few of them, were dump-ins. Like they were the Leafs. Yeah, they didn't shoot much, but they were good scoring opportunities that they had.
But the problem
was they were to capitalize on.
The problem was every time we tried to have a breakout into their end, we'd give away the puck.
Oh, exactly, and that's gonna affect how many shots you have in a game.
I don't know what happened. That was so bad.
And then. Yeah, like Oilers are not the team you want to be doing that. Right, and so, but I mean, they had a couple players out with COVID. I think.
I don't know. Hyman was out, but it wasn't COVID; it was injury.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. I was happy with it. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, they killed both penalty kills. They scored on the first goal of the game was a power play goal, was it not? Tavares, I think. Was it Tavares that got it? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that Tavares had that incredible assist.
Yes, he did.
On Matthews' goal.
Which one?
That was insane. Fought off 3 guys.
Matthews is playing out of his mind too.
Yeah, 13 goals in the last 10 games. Just his wrist is okay. His wrist is fine. He's shooting the puck. But you know what? More importantly, what I like about that line is how much Bunting is shooting.
Yeah, because
there was a couple times in last night's game where Matthews fed Bunting the pass, and Bunting was taking the shots.
Because he knows he will shoot.
Yes,
right.
Which I like because that doubles up the scoring threat.
Exactly.
Even though his shot is nowhere near what Matthews is. But as a defenseman, you can't leave him open because if he gets the puck, he's gonna put it on net.
Which means less people on Matthews.
Exactly, right? And we've been saying that since day one with Marner, right? Is now Marner, Matthews, and Bunting is still a fantastic line, but I noticed it a lot more in the Oilers game versus the Blackhawks and Lightning that Bunting was really shooting more in that Oilers. Yeah, Richie was out of the game.
Richie is out. Mikheyev's in.
I didn't notice that at all until I heard it today.
Yeah, I
didn't even realize it.
My theory is that they're trying to show off Mikheyev a bit before a little bit of a trade, because we know he's requested a trade in the offseason.
Yep.
We had the best November the Leafs ever had without him. We don't need him. He's just extra. And it's always good to have extras, but is that
when
extra?
You're tight to the salary and you need a defenseman for the playoffs.
And we have other extras that can fit the bill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Who was the young guy in that Oilers game
Steves?
The Leafs.
Steves, I think?
No, it wasn't. It started with an S, but it wasn't Steves. Here, let me look it up real quick because I liked him. I don't recall what his name was. Yeah, it started with an S though, but I liked. I'm looking it up right now.
The other thing I like Simmons' dirty goal, like his goal right in the crease there.
He's sitting on his knees or whatever.
Yay!
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, Seney, Seney.
Oh yeah, okay.
Left winger.
He looked pretty good.
25 years old. He looked good last night. I was happy to see him.
Yep.
And I need to talk. Riley's goal last night was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that's
that may have been That may have been one of my favorite goals by a defenseman.
Really?
Just
better than the one he had a couple weeks ago, where he
way better.
Really?
Way better.
Why?
Way better. Yeah.
Why?
Just because it was so quick, it was so well orchestrated, and with very little time looking at the puck, the goalie completely in the center of the net, he put it right under that bar. Mm-hmm. Like the pass came out, and he didn't one-time it, but he just kind of caught it, and same motion, let the wrist shot go, or maybe there was a snapshot, and just snuck it right under the crossbar, right tight in that corner. It was a perfectly placed shot on the net. It was absolutely beautiful. It was great when I saw it, and then I saw the replay of it, and it was even nicer.
Yeah.
Just how smooth and how fluid it looked. Puck came out, and boom, back of the net, done. See you later.
You know what else is beautiful to look at?
What's that?
Contract. That's a.
Oh my goodness! Oh, what did I hear today? He's 26 points in 30 games.
Yeah, something like that. Oh my god! I think it was.
Is that what he is right now?
I think so. And I think it's like 22 in 20. So like 20, like it was 22 points since he signed the contract, which is about 20 games ago.
Yeah. He's over a point a game since signing the contract.
Man.
What really helped was beautiful. What game did he really go off?
A couple games ago, he had like a 3-point night.
4. He had 4 assists.
4-point night.
He had 4 assists. I don't remember who it was against. I was fantasy hockey against Cody. Cody had Tavares and Nylander, who were both going off, but Riley assisted all of their goals. So it kind of balanced out. So Riley this year, 30 games played, 4 goals, 22 assists, giving him 26 points, plus 11.
You can't ask for more out of your defenseman.
Last year, in 55 games, he had 35 points. And get this, 2019-2020, so the shortened season, 47 games played, he had 27 points. He has 1 less point in 17 less games right now.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you can't add... was it Chase who wasn't 100% on the contract?
Yeah. Yeah, Chase wasn't a big fan of the contract, saying that...
you can't really,
it's a discount contract. Considering all top defensemen are signing like $9 million right now. Yeah. And I think Adam Fox signed this year, right around the same time Riley did for $9 million. So I mean, 7.5 is.
Adam Fox is awesome.
I'm just comparing the contracts, right? I'm just comparing the fact that we got him for $1.5 million less.
If he went free agency, he was going 9.
I think he was going at least 8.5.
At least.
At least 8.5. But man, am I happy Dubas snatched him up. It's the best contract he's signed, I think.
Ooh, Campbell's 1.5 right now.
He didn't sign him.
Fair.
He didn't sign him. They traded LA for him.
What about Nylander?
Nylander Dubas?
Yeah.
Was he? Okay. That was a good contract too.
It was a rough start.
Yeah.
He definitely worked into the contract. It was good.
I mean, this year it's really paying off. But he's slowed up quite a bit though.
Who, Nylander?
Yeah, he's not. Yes. Yeah, I'm not taking that away. He's still having a very good year.
He was on that pace. He was going to slow down eventually, but he's still playing. He's still playing great.
And he's doing really well on the power play. Yeah. I find this year more than other years, he's just I notice him on the ice the most.
Yes, absolutely.
Anytime he touches it or moves, he's always got the puck. He's 31 points in 30 games. So he's on pace for over a point a game, which is to date will be his best season.
What was his best before? Have you ever done?
Last year he was 42 points in 51 games, so 9 under. The year before that he was 59 and 68, so 9 under. And then if going back to the full seasons, 81 games, 82 games. He had 61 points in both those.
Oh, so he's never been a point-a-game player.
Nope. Huh. No, and that's probably why people have complained about his contract.
But this year, he's doing pretty good. Plus, playoff performer, apparently.
Yeah, no kidding. After the postseason last year, he played fantastic. It was him and Spezza that carried the team.
I guess he got his confidence back. Or his confidence up, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but the guy is playing very good right now.
But I think I don't think we've been talking contracts the last couple of minutes, but I don't think I have anything to really talk about else with the Oilers game. That I'm a little concerned with our defense. I'm quite concerned with our defense.
Yeah.
But that's something that can be easily fixed before trade deadline. We have time.
Well, and what's scary though is how the team goes from being the top defensive team in the league to, I would have to look it up, how many goals they've let by in the last 10 games. Like, it's
losing Sandin.
It's bad.
Losing your rookie defenseman shouldn't affect you this bad.
I don't even think that's what the issue is. I don't even think it's Sandin. I think there's a lot more going on there than just losing Sandin.
Like, I'm going to attribute the penalty kill to missing Marner because he's a key part of that penalty kill.
He is. Yes. He absolutely is.
So that definitely will hurt it. But the 5-on-5, that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, me too.
Especially like I said, this game with the ridiculous amount of giveaways. That can't happen, man. Especially like you said, against the Oilers.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah, it was sloppy.
Yeah.
That's the Oilers game. Defensively, it was sloppy.
Yeah. Offense,
right? Offensively, they were doing very well.
Although offensively, they were giving away the puck too. It wasn't just the D-men. It was like, I'm not like Matthews and stuff wasn't giving away, but it was like your wingers and stuff giving away.
Sorry, what I meant was yes, the whole team was giving giveaways. Yeah. But when they were in the offensive zone, they weren't.
Yes, you're
right. So it was. Sorry, when I said defensively, I didn't mean the defensemen. I meant like the team defensively as a whole did not play well.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. Oh, lost you.
Right, like zone break. They weren't handling the puck well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just saying they didn't handle the puck very well there. And I do quick math right here.
Quick maths.
Yeah.
All right, well, you want to call this a win, lose, or a cry?
They've let 30 goals in the last 10 games.
Oh.
A team that went 7-7 has let by an average of 3 goals per game for the last 10 games. That's not good.
No.
That's not good.
It's not good.
So what I mean. So like, it's not just losing 2 players that does that. I don't think. There's something's going on with the team in the dressing room. Like I said it earlier I said earlier in the season. I said the offense, the defense was clicking. They were playing perfectly defensively. The goalie was standing on top of his head, but the power play wasn't working. Now it's the opposite of that, right? Mm-hmm. Campbell had a couple of, I wouldn't say bad games, but they were a little weaker. Defensively, the team is not playing well, but the offense and the power play is doing incredible right now.
Yeah, special teams. Special teams are doing great.
Right. We got to find that equal balance, and that's how they'll win it. Yeah. So, yeah, they got to figure it out. I'm gonna call this week. I don't know. A loss.
Really? Why?
Because they blew a 4-1 lead in one game. I mean, yeah, the Oilers game, they won 5-1, but you know as well as I do, that game could have been 5-4, 5-5. Like, it easily could because of the turnovers defensively. Yeah. So they didn't like, because when I'm rating this cry, I'm rating it based off of a playoff team. Right? I don't care about what the final scores of the game are. I'm basing the team's performance on a playoff standard. Right? Because we've all said it. The regular season does not matter. The playoffs do. So the way they played against Tampa, I was happy with it. I wasn't happy with the outcome, but I was happy with the way they played. I did not like the game against the Blackhawks. Offensively, great. Defensively, they blew a 4-1 lead. And the Oilers game, there was too many turnovers, and they were too weak defensively for me to say it was a win.
It's strange to think that in a 3-game week where they went 2-1, the game that they lost was their best game.
Against the top team in the league.
I know. I'm just saying, in a week where we had a 5-1 win.
I know. I know.
I know. Like I think Chase said it. I can't remember if it was Chase or you, but the Leafs seem to play down to struggling teams.
Chase said that, but I agree.
Absolutely.
Not even play down. It was because they didn't play down to the Blackhawks, right? They played very well
at the beginning,
and then just stopped.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say they played down to the Oilers. The Oilers have dropped to 4th place. Ouch.
Yeah.
They're 4th in their division now.
They've lost. Was it 6?
5 in a row. Or 6 in a row. 6 in a row. Right. Last night was 6 in a row.
Jersey on the ice, but they're like, why was there a jersey on the ice? They're 4th. They haven't been playing. Like, they had a 6-game stretch of losses, but they're still in a playoff spot. If I'm right.
Yeah, they're 1 point out of a playoff spot, and there are 2 teams that are tied 1 point behind them.
I mean,
so there are teams right on their tail.
I mean, I'm not against throwing jersey on the ice if you need change, like Vancouver or the Habs this year, or Ottawa or Buffalo, like those teams when they're in the absolute toilet and there's no hope and they're throwing the jersey. I'm like,
the Leafs had a jersey on the ice this year,
and I agreed with that too because of how they went with the postseason last year, and then they start out like a wet fart. It was just kind of like a screw you to the fans. That's how I
don't know. I'm not a big fan of jersey on the ice thing.
Not.
I get it in some markets, right? Montreal, I don't. I disagree with that. I think the guy who threw in the Leafs jersey on the ice is an absolute idiot. Like, that's just an impatient asshole, in my opinion. You have a team that's this good and has that much potential, and you're throwing your jersey on the ice? Like, grow up. You're not a child. You can't throw a tantrum. There's 7 games in.
Yeah. I didn't agree with I didn't agree with the Leafs fan throwing the jersey this year, but I understand people being like,
I get it in some markets, right?
Like if they boo them or something, I wouldn't have been mad if they booed the team at that point.
So that's the thing. Is like throwing a jersey on the ice though is going beyond booing. It's going beyond attacking them on social media. It's making a statement.
Like the Canucks
that stands out.
The Canucks this year.
That one made sense.
Makes perfect sense.
That one I'm not against. No. The Montreal one, I was kind of against it. I mean, the team just went to the finals.
They did, but then they managed to break the franchise record for losses.
Because they lost half the team.
Yeah.
The captain's gone. The starting goaltender's gone. Yeah. Philip Deneau is gone. Like, you look at the team that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. And look at the team on the ice now. It's not the same team. And it's not the GM's fault. Outside of getting rid of Philip Deneau, or not getting rid of him, not re-signing him, Weber is not Bergevin's fault. Price wasn't Bergevin's fault. So they're throwing the jersey on the ice, blaming management for things that are out of their control. Well, so that's why I disagreed with it.
Yes, but no, because last year they went on a miracle run because of 90% because of Price. The team itself is not made well, and it hasn't been for a while. So
no, it wasn't.
So you went from a championship contender only because your goalie. The second your goalie's gone, you shouldn't become the second best to the absolute worst with just by losing your goalie. That means your team's not made well.
Okay, well, what if you took out John Tavares, Morgan Riley, and Jack Campbell? How are the Leafs going to play?
I don't think they'd be a bottom team. I think they'd be...
No, because they still have Marner. They still have Matthews.
That's what I'm saying.
You still have other players.
That's what I'm saying. Montreal is not, has not, and is not built well. And
no,
they're just
they're
riding
not.
the coattails of Carey Price, and that's why the fans are mad. Last year they were mad too. They made the playoffs because they were in the Canadian division.
Yeah, they just squeaked in.
And they hadn't been in the playoffs for a while before that either, because the team's not good. They have Carey Price, and if Carey Price has a good year, they'll do okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the team's also built around him.
Which,
right? Like he's the $10 million player.
Yeah.
The Leafs have $10 million players, and we sit here and complain about all their contracts.
But name 3 players other than Carey Price that are good on that team.
Okay, before this year, I would have said Cole Caulfield's good. Mm-hmm. Like, are we talking this year's team or last year's?
Say last year. It'd be Weber,
Philip Deneau, Josh Anderson, Shea Weber, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Kotkaniemi, Price. And I don't watch that team.
No.
I don't watch that. So like that's
those are some
I only know the big names,
but,
right?
Yeah, and those are the big guys, and then they have no depth. But those are pretty good guys. And then this year, you have Suzuki. Was it Suzuki or Caulfield that got sent down to the minors?
Caulfield got sent down. Kotkaniemi got signed by Carolina. Yeah. Shea Weber is not playing anymore. Yeah, so Price wasn't playing, and Philip Deneau got signed on free agents.
Yeah.
So you look at all the players. I just named 6 players.
Yeah.
And 5 of them aren't playing there right now.
And I blame management for most of that. Not for Price. You can't blame him for Price. But Caulfield.
Or Weber.
No, you can't. But Weber was getting on in years anyway, so you probably should have been thinking about that.
Yeah, but he's still an asset to that team.
He was, but they had no real replacement on defense for him. Like, their defense is pretty stripped. But Caulfield, everyone liked Caulfield. And so what do? You send him to the minors. And he did not belong in the minors. Very clearly shown he did not belong in the minors.
It was kind of the same thing as what needed to happen with Marner at the beginning. Right? They had to get his confidence up somehow. So you let him go down and you let him just play quick and dirty and get lots of points and bring him back up.
Yeah. But he was mad about it, and the fans were mad about it. So that's one thing. You lose Deneau, you lose Kotkaniemi. And those two, you could. I'm not sure how Deneau feels about the signing and stuff like that, but you could have matched the Kotkaniemi thing. We were all hanging out when it happened, and we were all shocked that it happened.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to lose a player like that to offer sheet. And
they sat him in the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm 100% correct on that, but I thought they sat Kotkaniemi as a healthy scratch.
I think so, because he wasn't playing
for some of the games. I don't know. Either way, the jersey was thrown. It is what it is. They have a potential GM soon. I know they haven't gotten one yet, but we'll see what happens there. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a weird season this year.
It has.
Like you look at the amount of take COVID out of it, right? Look at the players, look at the names that have been put on waivers this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Matt Murray's put on waivers. Evander Kane's put on waivers. Who else just went down too?
There's been a bunch. I can't even think of them right now.
Oh, there was a big goalie that just got put down from Dallas. Hudobin. Hudobin just got put on waivers too this week. So that's from the players' side of things. Look at how many GMs have stepped down or been fired this year, along with coaches too.
Well, look, we had the whole Blackhawks thing. That's
what I mean. You lost Blackhawks GM, Ducks GM, I believe, resigned. Montreal's GM was fired. Vancouver's GM was fired. Vancouver's head coach was fired. Philadelphia's head coach was fired. I feel like I'm missing someone there.
Did you say Vancouver?
Yeah, I said Vancouver because it was both their head coach and their GM. But there's been a lot of management this year.
Yeah.
It's been intense. And so Yeah, I wonder if Dubas is going to add to that at the end of the year or not. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of around the league. There's been a lot going on this year.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of ex-owners, GMs, coaches, John Tortorella.
The guy should not be around the game.
No.
I'm sorry. Zegras had one of the greatest goals I have ever seen someone score.
Amazing.
Like, hands down, one of the best goals I have seen someone score. And I'm not sure it's good for the game. Are you kidding me? Like, and in his, like, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he's sitting there going, "Oh, back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, you couldn't do that type of thing. You'd have your head taken off."
Yeah.
You know, the players didn't have that kind of skill to do it back then.
Exactly what he said. Yeah.
Like, players couldn't do that because they weren't good enough to do that. It had nothing to do with, "Oh, that's not how we played hockey." It's like you couldn't play hockey like that.
And even the old
You're not
guys,
good enough.
Even the old guys admit it. They're like, "Oh yeah, I can't do that. I couldn't have done that stuff when I was younger."
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a breakdown of it, so you know that he was shouting Michigan, right?
Yeah. Was it him shouting it, or was it the other?
It wasn't Zegras. It was Sonny Milano.
Yeah. He was screaming Michigan.
He was
scream that unless you're confident the guy can do it.
That's what I mean. Like, it was incredible. But so when it happened, I heard this quote and everything, right? It's not good for the game. It's not good for the development of the game. You can't do, when he's like, you can't do that. You had your head taken off. You know what it made me think of? What? It was like an immediate thing. As soon as I heard that clip, an immediate thing popped into my head, and it was from the movie Semi-Pro. Do you remember when they do the alley-oop?
Yeah.
They're running down. They're like, "Okay, do this." Yeah, he throws it. It just blows the whistle. You can't do that. Man can't just fly through the air. Foul. I was like, that's Tortorella holding hockey bags. Like, "Oh, the players can't be skilled." No, like, let's keep the game to a hard and honest game. Players can't just pick up the puck on their stick, because when I played and when I coached, players couldn't do that, so they're not allowed to do that now. Like, the clip has been seen like millions, like over 50 million times. This clip has been seen of him getting that goal. You can't pay for that kind of exposure.
No.
And then you have a TV broadcaster openly saying, "This is bad for the game. You shouldn't be doing that." Like, get off the TV, get away from hockey. No one wants to hear your opinion because your opinion is stupid.
This is the guy. This is a guy that the NHL has decided he's who we want to put in front of audiences on TV to promote our game and to show off our game.
And to talk about his expertise.
Are you kidding me? If you're a new fan, right, and you turn on the TV and you see Trevor Zegras score that goal, your first reaction is, you don't have to be a hockey fan. You'd be like, "Holy shit, that's impressive."
Oh yeah.
And if the pro says to the audience of millions of viewers, that's not good for the game, then your first thought is, "Oh, this isn't normal. They don't want it in the game. So what's the rest of the game like? Is it just gonna nothing fun?"
Yeah.
Stupid.
You know what I want to hear? What? Yeah, it is. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear John Tortorella's opinion on the Toronto-Winnipeg game. More specifically, the hit on Sandin and the hit on Pionk from Spezza.
It's a good hockey hit.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good hockey play. He was standing up for his teammates.
That's what it's going to be.
He deserved to get that knee to the face. Like, and you just know the way he's been talking. That's the way he thinks hockey should be played. Oh, he threw a dirty hit, so we should throw a dirty hit back on him. No, don't worry about injuries. Don't worry about anything like that. It's a good, honest, tough game. It's a hard game. Stick up for your teammates. Run them dirty if you need to.
I'd also like to remind everybody that Tortorella has also told, about a month ago, he told McDavid to shut up and to suck it up.
Yeah. Because he complained that there was no penalties called again.
Again, to remind everybody, McDavid, who has the puck 90% of the time for Edmonton, has not drawn could not draw a penalty call last year in the playoffs or the previous year in the playoffs, and I think the last time he was in the playoffs too. I don't think he can't draw a penalty in the playoffs. He has the puck the whole time. People are literally climbing on his back, and they just don't call it. But shut up, Connor McDavid.
And they played the Jets, did they not?
Yes.
The team that just beat up on the Leafs with no penalty. 7 games, or I don't know if it was 7-game series.
Jets might be a little dirty.
Yeah, like
they're also known for not even just against the Leafs. It was another team that they did it. They've had a lot of times and a lot of occurrences over the last year or two where they've hit players after open net goals or empty net goals.
Well, it happened to Marner last year.
And it happened to somebody else on a different team last year as well.
Scheifele did it last year, didn't he?
He hit somebody else last year.
They were going for a wraparound to get the goal, and Scheifele ran him straight over. Yeah. That was.
It wasn't the Leafs.
Was that in the Montreal series?
I can't remember.
It was in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the playoffs last year because Scheifele. Did he get kicked out? He got suspended, didn't he, for it?
Yeah, I think it was
and then they ended up losing. They ended up getting swept for nothing without him. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure.
Because they lost their.
I'm pretty sure it was game 1 against Montreal.
Yeah, I remember the Deneau takes out because Montreal apparently didn't have to play anybody's number 1 center.
Yeah. So it was that. That's what it was. But that was a blatant dirty hit, and he deserved to get that suspension.
But it's a good hockey play.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, speaking around the league, Alexander Ovechkin hit 750 goal marker. I pulled up the stat earlier on my phone here. Let me take a quick peek at it, and I'll send you this so you can put it on the screen as well.
Okay.
Alexander Ovechkin has more goals per game than Wayne Gretzky does now.
Yep. He's gonna beat it.
He does. Gretzky had 0.6 goals per game percentage.
Yeah.
Alexander Ovechkin is 0.61.
He's gonna beat him.
He's gonna beat Yager. They're saying he's on pace. Yager, who has 16 more goals before the Olympic break, and they said he'll catch Gordie Howe next year, which will put him behind Wayne Gretzky.
So what's the ranking at right now?
So it's Gretzky in first with 894.
That's less. That's like 144.
894. That's a lot of goals.
But it's only 144 goals.
Yeah, it is. So Gordie Howe is in second place with 801. Mm-hmm. Yager has 766. Mm-hmm. Ovechkin is 750. And then Brett Hull is in fifth place with 741.
Well, he's going to be in the top 3.
Well, that's what I mean. They're saying before the Olympic break this year, he's on pace to be number 3.
What's he have?
How
many goals does he have this year?
Let me pull it up here real quick. He has. I know he's scoring at a record pace this year, I think.
Yeah, he's doing nuts.
Holy crap.
What is he at?
I passed up on this guy in fantasy. 28 games played. Yeah. He's got 20 goals and 24 assists. He's a plus 19. His shooting percentage is 16.5%. That's insane.
He wants it.
That's insane. Oh my goodness.
When does he?
Wow.
When will he slow down?
I mean, he's 36 now, and he's still rocking and rolling. So, who knows?
Does he just the second he hits 895, he just stops scoring? He's just done.
Just retires then and there.
Just
see you later.
It's in the middle of the second period, and he just announces his retirement in the intermission.
Part of me, because a lot of people are saying is it's not a question of will he catch Gretzky. It's a question of how many more goals will he get than, right? I just think it would be cool he gets one more goal and that's it. I think, right, because he signed that, was it 5-year contract for one purpose.
Oh, yeah.
And that was to beat Gretzky.
He's got his
I
cup.
think it would be cool is if he beats Gretzky, see you later, I'm done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is it for me. Right? So, I don't know. I'm excited. But, yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if he's at, when he's at, 890... And
I'm watching every game.
There's a Washington game on, and there's a Leafs game on at the same time. I'm sorry,
I'm probably going to watch the Washington. I want to see history.
I want to see it
being made.
Yeah.
He has. They just posted this on their Twitter. 274 power play goals, not points, goals. Just 274. That is insane. Ties Dave Andreychuk for the most power play goals in NHL history.
I'm sorry.
One more goal and he holds that record.
I'm sorry, but everyone's saying, I keep hearing people saying Matthews is the best goal scorer ever of our time. And I'm like, he still has a way to go.
Until he hits 700, he's not in that conversation. Ovechkin is the best goal scorer in the game.
Matthews, I can't take anything away from Matthews, but guys, Ovechkin is a thing.
Yeah. Well, and look, Ovechkin has 20 goals. Matthews has 20 goals. Difference is Ovechkin has 2 less. No. Matthews missed a couple games.
Difference is Ovechkin is 36.
Fair. Yeah. He's incredible. Just an incredible hockey player. And I hope he catches them.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple more things to touch on real quick, and then I think that's it for us today. So,
what do you got?
I mean, COVID's coming up, right? Cases are climbing.
I thought it's already came.
Well, what I meant in the NHL, right? This year, we've been pretty good so far this year, but in the last 3 weeks or so, it's really been coming in strong. I mean, Ottawa canceled a bunch of games a couple weeks ago, but then Calgary just announced that they've canceled a couple games this week. The Carolina-Minnesota game got canceled because Carolina had too many players in protocol. In Ontario, as of Saturday, they're only allowed 50% capacity, I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah. For Sens and Maple Leaf.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's making an impact, and I don't know. I think they keep playing. Sorry, go ahead.
What happens to the people that bought tickets already?
They would probably get to go to the postponed game, because they'll make up that game at some point, right?
If it's 50% capacity, say I have tickets for Saturday night. Do I get to go to that game?
Right.
They can't go.
Right. I wonder.
Because the tickets are sold.
Tickets
are sold.
You know what?
Tickets now, they're not from the Leafs. They're from secondhand. The tickets are sold.
What I'm wondering is if the Leafs organization or StubHub, wherever they bought them from, reaches out to everybody saying, "Hey, we're at 50% capacity. If you would like a refund, we can offer it to you." Because some people might not want to go with the climbing numbers, right? Some people might want to opt out. So they might offer that up. Yes. Other than that, I don't really have a solution.
Because some people will take it, but what if you're still above that number? Do you just tell people you ain't coming? We drew you out of a hat.
Yeah, we drew numbers, and sorry, here's a refund, or here's a ticket for next year, right? I don't know. Because that's not that wasn't a decision made by MLSE. Right? Or Ottawa ownership. That was a decision made by the Ontario government that they now have to scramble and figure out. Yeah. That's I didn't think of that. That's a good point.
I'm curious how they do that.
Yeah. And what's scaring me though is out of the 3 teams that have had to cancel COVID, 2 of them are Canadian teams.
Well, I mean, we were supposed to play. Who were we supposed to play tomorrow night? That got canceled.
Calgary.
We were supposed to play
Calgary because Calgary canceled 3 games.
Yeah.
Right. So
now the Leafs have some weird road trip right now where they're kind of in a limbo. Like they had a game Tuesday.
Yeah.
Saturday. I guess.
And Sunday they have a game.
Yeah, so I guess they go home.
Rather. I would assume. So I would assume get on a bus and go last night. Yeah. Right, or on a plane.
Man, like I don't know. This kind of bleed. If you're okay with me moving on to something kind of related, 1 second here. I don't think we're going to the Olympics.
Yeah, see, Bettman come out and he said it's up to the players' decision.
Yes, and
has he not?
He said. Yes, but last night or the night before, there was reports going out that the NHL and the NHLPA were discussing.
Okay.
Because it is if you get it, if you're in China and you get it, then it's 5-week quarantine. On
3 to 5.
On 3 to 5 weeks. So let's say 4 on the average. So if you're there for the Olympics for like 3 weeks. And say you get it on the last day, you're there. So you're going to be there for 7 weeks. Do you think?
Well, so I don't know if. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was 5 weeks. I thought it was 3 to 5 weeks because if you get it on the last day, then you have to be there for the additional 5 weeks, right? I thought like you're quarantined for 3
You're
weeks.
Quarantined for 3 to 5 weeks, but that's on top of how long you've already stayed there for the events. So I'm saying
So with that being said, I think it's like if you get there day 1 and you get it, you have to quarantine for 3 weeks.
Yeah, but think of it
right.
Think of it this
Whereas
way.
if they're leaving,
how long do the Olympics typically last?
It's 2 weeks.
So say,
but hockey's not 2 weeks though. It's like a week and a half or just under a week and a half.
Well, okay,
right.
So you're going to be there. Say if you get it, you're there for 5 weeks. Do you think they want to be there for 5 weeks, especially guys who are away from their family?
It's up to the players.
The way China works and their government right now, I don't know if I'd want to be there for 5 weeks.
It's up to the players.
Yeah.
Right? That's what Bettman said. He said it's up to the players.
Was it Pietrangelo said was kind of saying, I want to go, but I don't know if I can leave. I have 4 kids. I might be wrong if it's I can't remember if it's Pietrangelo or not. I think it was
I forget who it was. Someone came out and said that they weren't.
And this was somebody who was like named to Team Canada straight away.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure it's Pietrangelo, but I could be wrong. But he was like, I have 4 kids, all young, all under 6 years old. That's so hard to be away from them for that long if that happens. It is. That's best case scenario could be 5 weeks. It's the Chinese government. You don't know what's going on. And then you also lose your wages because the NHL does not pay you wages for time lost due to COVID. And we learned earlier this year, well, the two of us at least learned earlier this year, for every $1 million a player takes home, you're only getting $300,000. So, and you're also paid by days played. I believe they get paid for 220 games or 220 days is kind of their range. So if you're taking 5 weeks off of that, that's a substantial amount of your paycheck. Yeah.
And that's why Bettman has said
it's up to the players.
It's up to the players. And right? He's not forcing anyone to go over. He's not forcing anyone to stay home as of right now. He's just saying, if players want to go, you can go. You know the risks. You're an adult. You can make a decision for yourself, right? And like I would, if I was in that position, I would go. I would go play for Team Canada. But right, no kids.
Yeah,
I don't have kids. Someone who has 3, 4 kids, 2, 1 kid, like you have a family at home, you're leaving. That's a different story.
Even McDavid says that he's second guessing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like what happens if you get COVID and you're stuck there for 5 weeks, and you come home now? That's another question. When you fly back home, you have to quarantine back in Canada again. Why?
That's
Why wouldn't you? You're taking a flight.
well, you don't have to quarantine if you're double vaxxed and stuff. Like I went on a flight and I came back and I did because I'm double vaxxed and I had a negative test. I didn't have to quarantine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true. I guess they would have a negative test
they'd have a negative test
sitting
when
in
they
quarantine
leave,
for that
and then
long.
have a negative test when they arrive, and they're double vaxxed. Or
Yeah.
probably triple at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I understand why a lot of players will.
Yeah.
I completely. If a player wants to go, I can stand behind them. Like I get it. I understand. If a player says I don't want to go, I totally understand. Like, it's one of those things where there's no right decision. It's case by case, player by player, and it's their decision, right? If they want to go, they can.
Now, what about the skills comp? The skills comp and stuff like that. What'd you get? Like what's up?
Sorry. Ovechkin just tied Dave Andreychuk for most power play goals. I had the notification. I thought it popped up and said Ovechkin from his office, and then I saw Andreychuk's name, so I thought that was I beat it, but no, he just tied it.
So
That's
143 left.
No.
Did he not just score?
Yes, sorry, yes, 143 left. 143 left.
All right.
Yeah, the skills. So the skills comp, and so I think that's before.
It is, but now because here's the weird thing. So the Olympics, it is up to the players as per Gary Bettman. The All-Star stuff, if you don't go and you're, if they vote you in and you don't go, you get suspension. I think
you get a 1-game suspension.
At the very least, you take that away. What if they don't want to go because COVID numbers are rising and you're gonna penalize them for that? I mean, at this point, they might have to stop it. But
then you know what, they might, and we're kind of lucky that we have this Olympic break in the middle.
Yeah.
Because if things keep going the way they are,
might have to make up some games.
No, not even that. It gives a 2-week NHL shutdown where I think Bettman should step in and say, "Hey guys, we're shutting down for 2 weeks. For one of those 2 weeks, no training, no practices, no nothing. You're not allowed in the arenas. We're just going to take a full week and reset and try and get our COVID numbers back under control."
Well, I think training and stuff is fine, but the travel and going to different arenas and stuff like that is the problem.
Yeah, but even the players getting together and stuff, right? Like, I think it's just better. You have 2 weeks off, just 5, 6, 7 days. Just, hey guys, no training, no skating, right? Just rest up, come back, and they do that the first of the 2 weeks, right? The first of the 2 weeks is the rest. The second of the 2 weeks, you get back in, you get skating, you get training, and then off you go. So that's just that's what I think they should do during that Olympic break there, just to give the players a rest and hopefully try and get COVID back under control. That way we continue out the rest of the season without canceling too many more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that's all I really have. I mean, the Canucks are 5-0 in their last 5 games. That's a 5-game winning streak.
That's kind of crazy.
It's insane. But yeah, that's all. Unless you have anything else, that's all I've got.
Last thing, just a small thing to bring up. Ben Bishop unfortunately has to retire due to complications with his leg, even after surgery. It's a shame.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was a Vezina winner.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I knew the goaltender, but I didn't actually realize that that he won a Vezina.
Yeah, I can't remember what year he won it, but
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, I heard that today though when someone was talking about his retirement.
Yeah.
So
great, dude. Great goaltender.
Too bad, but I mean that's what happens, right? Your body gives up on you.
He's 35.
Yeah.
But it just sucks when it's something he loves to do and your body just says no.
Yeah, it's just see you later.
Unfortunate. And he was I'm looking at his numbers and he did. It's not like he fell off the world. Like you look 17-18 he was a 916. 19-19 he was a 934. 19-20 he was a 920.
Wow.
it's not like
So he was. It's just injuries caught up to him.
Yeah, he didn't just get bad and then unable to play.
No, it was just injuries. Injuries caught up to him.
Yeah.
All right, to end it out here, we got 2 games coming up. Canucks on Saturday, Kraken on Sunday. What do you think?
Oh, 1 second. Okay. So yeah, because we only have 2 games next week.
Before the next podcast, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one was canceled.
It's just.
Right, tomorrow night's was postponed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. COVID. All right, so what do you think? They're gonna beat the Canucks? They're gonna Kraken?
They better go 2-0.
The Canucks are 5-0 right now.
It's still the Canucks. You should
last 5.
If the Maple Leafs should beat the Canucks. If you want to be a contender this year, you should beat the Canucks.
I agrue.
Yeah, even if they weren't as bad as what they were at the start of this year, they're still an average team. Well, on paper, they're an average team. I don't know what the hell's going on between the years. But the Leafs should be better than the Canucks.
I agree. I agree.
The Kraken are a expansion team who is a proper expansion team, not Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
But they're an expansion team. They're not. They're going to be good in a couple years with the amount of the prospects and draft picks they have. You should be 2-0 this week. If not, there's a problem.
I think so too. I think that same thing. I think they'll beat both teams. Yeah. All right, that's all I've got.
All right. What's our plans for Christmas break? Are we going to be doing one next week?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do one next week. Do you want to do one during the week after? Or because next week for sure, and I don't think there's a game.
There is a game.
There's a game Wednesday, like the podcast night. There's a game, like the 23rd. That's the Young Guns, and then
23rd's a Thursday.
22nd. Okay, yeah. So there's one game. There's the Young Guns game on the Thursday. I keep thinking Christmas Day is Friday.
So yeah, there's the Young Guns game on the 23rd, and there's a game on the 27th. So I'd say keep going every Wednesday.
Okay. Maybe we take a break during when one of their breaks happens. We'll see what happens.
Maybe the Olympic.
I'm good to keep going. Maybe we can just have a fun week that week.
Yep.
Like we'll see what's going on. But
sounds good.
Hopefully next week there'll be a third person here again.
Yeah. Get him back.
Yeah, we'll get him back. How good do you guys think we did without Chase? Better? Probably better. Let's be honest, better.
Let us know.
All right, guys. Watch us on YouTube. Watch us on Spotify. I'm hopefully going to have this up on Google Podcasts because I know a couple people have been bugging me about that. And we will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Night.